If you were to ask me the number one thing that I could teach you to get rid of headaches and migraines, what would that be? I would say relaxed breathing. That's the number one. 100% hands down. Nothing will help your migraines more than relaxed breathing. Now, I've struggled with this for a long time, so I've kind of gone through a lot of the different challenges that go along with our relaxed breathing. The problem that happened for me and that happens for a lot of people is our body gets into a pattern. We have too much pressure on us, too much work going on, not enough downtime, we're not getting enough R&R, we're not taking the time to relax and rejuvenate our body, and the breath gets into a pattern of shallow breathing. And over time, a pattern of shallow breathing causes not enough oxygen to be going to the head. Now, if you're compromised because you have low flow condition, or you have a sluggish liver, or you have anything of that nature that compromises and creates migraines more, then the shallow breathing creates a compound problem on top of that already existing problem. So while you're healing from migraines, you're maybe healing your liver, your blood vessels, your hormones, or your stress level, any of those things that you're doing to mitigate whatever's causing your migraines, while you're doing that, the most important thing you could remember to do is go into daily relaxed breathing and get into a pattern of daily relaxed breathing. So I'm going to try to demonstrate it. It's really something you're going to have to feel your way through and practice on your own. I'm just going to give you all of these important tips to help teach you, and I will also try to give you some examples of the challenges that I have faced while trying to master this. The last thing I learned was probably the first thing that would help me, so I'm going to teach you that first, okay? So this was amazing when I learned this. I had read that saliva on the tongue, it helps relax the nervous system. And so I tried putting saliva in my mouth, getting lots of saliva. That's not how it works. What happens is when we relax, saliva forms in our mouth. So we have to relax first. We can't just put saliva in there. That actually doesn't do anything. It's the relaxation that creates our mouth to be more moist. If you have a dry mouth, then you know already you're not in a relaxed state and your nervous system is in a more fight or flight mode. So the first thing you can do is relax your tongue. As funny as that sounds, it's so valuable. So you relax your tongue. You just put your tongue in your mouth in a very relaxed way. You can't talk when your tongue is relaxed. So I'm going to give you an example of what it would sound like if you talked with your tongue relaxed. My tongue doesn't work when it's relaxed. It doesn't make sounds and articulate. So just try right now. Just relax your tongue. And if you do that for 30 seconds to a minute with some belly breathing, immediately saliva will start to form. Now, while you're relaxing your tongue, also relax your hands and your feet. And just consciously think, tongue, hands, and feet, they're all going to relax. We're going to belly breathe. We're not breathing through our chest. We're not doing either of those. We're using our diaphragm, relaxing our tongues, our hands, our feet. And saliva starts to collect in the mouth. And we know, oh, it's working. We need to be able to do this at will all day long, whenever we need to. And we need to check our breath throughout the day to make sure that we are doing relaxed breathing frequently. When we get into a habit of shallow breathing, dry mouth, and staying in fight or flight, we're giving our nervous system, our central nervous system, a long-term pattern of not enough oxygen going to the brain. And that will trigger so many other things going out of control. So there's a lot of things that can be contributing to your headaches, which you'll see throughout the course. But no matter what is causing it, you will heal faster if you can get into relaxed breathing. And I'll have other videos on this, but the reason that relaxed breathing makes such a difference in your health is that you cannot generate any new cells when you're in a fight or flight mode. And I have a whole video on this. When you are in a stressed mode, you are losing cells. Cells are dying at a rapid pace, and they're not renewing. So you cannot heal your liver if you do not get into this relaxed breath. You can't heal your blood vessels if you do not get into this relaxed breath. You can't improve your hormones, etc., etc. The relaxed breathing is the system that is required in order for you to have any type of healing and cell rejuvenation or cell rebuilding throughout your body. It is critical. Now, what I noticed was such a struggle for me is I would try to do the relaxed breathing and I could kind of mimic it for a few minutes, but I couldn't stay there. And the other issue I had was I would try and mimic it, but I wouldn't ever get to a real, actual relaxed breath. I can tell you the secret was practice. It was just trying and trying and trying and paying attention to my body. So I would notice how often my feet were tight. Like when I'm doing activities, I notice my feet kind of tense up. My hands sometimes are not relaxed. And my jaw would get so tight during moments of stress and high pressure. I had to really become aware of my body, aware of how my body was reacting to things, and aware of when my feet were relaxed, when my tongue and hands were relaxed, my shoulders, and I would do this breathing. Here's another thing I noticed that was really powerful. So I would get really tense up here, my base of my neck, my shoulders, and right between my shoulder blades would get really, really tense. And when I would start to do the relaxed breathing, and I would try to relax my jaw, and sometimes there would be pain up here in the beginning when I started learning this. I'd have like a head pain or a migraine starting, and I knew, okay, I got to relax my jaw, I got to breathe correctly. So I'd do the breathing, and once I learned how to do it correctly, right, that's the most important part, and I'm relaxing my tongue, my hands and feet are relaxed, doing the diaphragmatic breathing, nice and slow. And I'm going to teach you the pace in just one second. So the pace is really important too. I'm doing all that, and I notice that I'll get the pain out of my head leaves first, and the pain leaves there. And I've just got the jaw tension and the neck tension. And I keep relaxing, I keep breathing, and then pretty soon, oh gosh, my jaw's feeling better, my sinuses are feeling better, all that tension's leaving. And I keep breathing, and after maybe 10 minutes where I get into this really relaxed state, then all of a sudden I feel a great big letting go. You don't even see it. You can't really see it, but you can really feel it in the back. All those muscles just go and then let go all at once after doing this breathing for enough time. Now you can relax your hands and your feet pretty well on your own, but these seem to be harder to do, right? Once we do that breathing and we're relaxing, then those muscles can let go. So here's the trick on the breathing. Not only is your tongue relaxed, your hands and feet are relaxed, your jaw's relaxed, and you're using your diaphragm, but the other part is you want to really slow down your breath. Now, sometimes it's easier to lay down or definitely be sitting. It's harder to do the standing up because when we stand, we need to breathe a little faster. So we're going to really slow down the breath. And the way we do that, and you have to make sure you have enough oxygen first before you can slow down your breath. So you might have to do a few deeper breaths first. And after a few, some deeper breaths and you have plenty of oxygen, then you just breathe in really slow through the diaphragm and hold it. And then really slow, letting the diaphragm collapse, and then hold it. Then in again, hold, out. When we breathe slow enough, the autonomic nervous system goes, aha, aha, everything is okay. we are now in a relaxed state. Now we can rejuvenate, we can make new cells, we can heal the body, we can do things that have been put off as priorities while we were handling a crisis. The only thing the autonomic nervous system doesn't know is there was no real crisis. The crisis was in our imagination. It wasn't an actual crisis. But the autonomic nervous system doesn't know this. It just knows that when we breathe slowly, calmly, everything is well and we can rejuvenate, make new cells. There's one more key to that. As you breathe in really slow and breathe out really slowly, the other thing that really helps is to imagine opening your nostrils wide. So as you open and when I say imagine, just think of opening your nostrils really wide and allowing your airways to really relax and open up. So instead of, there's really no sound because everything is open. There's no sound. Try that. Try breathing quietly, calmly, slowly, deeply, and very relaxed, and practice it every day until you get good at it. Because without that type of breathing, the body will stay in a stressful state and you won't get to heal and you won't get enough oxygen to the brain because the autonomic nervous system will say, oh, we need that oxygen for the muscles, not for the brain right now because there's an emergency. Relaxing the breath is the way to get more oxygen and nutrients to your brain. I hope that you're able to develop a new way of breathing faster than I did because it really took me a lot of practice. I'm thinking like it took me 3 years before I was much better at that. I just had to do a lot of practice. I got better slowly, but now, it's so much easier to just relax the breath, take in deep breaths, and really slowly calm down the nervous system with my airways open. You try it. It'll make you feel better quickly.